When you look at me, what do you see? Do you see my Down syndrome, my disability? What about the wheelchair? The way I communicate? I don't blame you for seeing the things I can't do. I am just happy there's an organisation in our community who know what I can achieve and who have helped me become the person I am today. This is our story. And the story of an amazing charity called Kisharon, who sees us for who we are and who we can each strive to become.
Stand up.
When people look at Evie, I would like them to look straight into her eyes to get through to her soul and see what a happy, smiley, inquisitive little girl she is. After Evie was born, there was quite a strong feeling of helplessness. I actually did take quite a tumble. I became quite depressed. Just so much uncertainty of not knowing what would happen to this poor little girl. I was drowned, really, in responsibility and fear. Was she going to be there in the morning? Hard.
When people look at Elias, I want them to see a very happy boy with a great sense of humour and a lovely disposition. He says Postman Pat. He's extremely motivated by Postman Pat. In fact, he sings most of the Postman Pat song, but he doesn't say mummy or daddy. But he loves us, we know he does, because he's Elias.
I shouldn't get anything dirty now.
When you look at Chaim, I want you to see the independent young man he is, not the learning difficulties he has. Chaim's one of the busiest, most hardworking people I know. He's holding down 5 jobs, and that's just the paid jobs. Chaim David lives with 2 friends in a house. Kisharon found them the house, and they're gaining independent skills every day. He attends lots of the local community gatherings. He goes to synagogue 3 times a day, goes to 3 different synagogues. I met Chaim David the first time about 4.5 years ago. He was living in residential care, and he had very high support needs.
At the beginning when I moved in here, I needed more support. But then after that, when I got much better, it went one-to-one support.
And what's next? What do you want to do next?
Move to my own house. That's what I'm aiming for, to move to my own house.
Kisharon touches the lives of hundreds of people every day. Kisharon is special. Look at the world through our eyes.
Where are we going now?
To the office in the city. I take the train 3. Yeah, can I go by myself?
One of the things that we've been able to give him is the confidence to know his own strengths. One of the things that we've done is the travel training. We've been able to help him plan for different eventualities. And with the confidence that he's built up, he's been able to learn new skills with our support.
Chaim David comes to us once a week for an hour, and he's involved in essential office tasks.
He's doing work that we need to have done, so it is important. He does add something to that sense. But then also I think it's really good for everybody in the business to have him come in and hand out the post. I find it rewarding.
I've known Kisharon for a long time at a distance. It's a charity that I think does fantastic work. So it seemed to me that the way that I could get involved was probably through the work placement scheme. Initially I was quite nervous. I mean, we're a city firm. It's an inspiration for other people to see him. I've had colleagues say to me that when he hands out the post and they have a little interaction, it makes their day. So overall, it's had a very positive impact on everyone who works here.
I like the moves, the witty moves.
You like doing the meeting room?
See what's in stock.
See what's in stock, yeah? And you work on your own a lot of the time?
Before Chaim David came to work here, my perception of someone with a disability was quite unknown. I had perhaps a sense of unease. Now I see him as a person who has his strengths, who has his weaknesses, just like anyone else who works here. He really takes a lot of pride in what he's doing.
Kisharon gives everyone the chance to grow and develop, no matter what their disability.
Shall I help you? Evie, say, help me.
Good, ask.
Kisharon, when we first started, our main contact point was with Janice. She even gave me a hug. She goes, we would love to have Evie. Nobody had ever said that to me before.
She more or less walked through the door and didn't look back. And she's been loving it. And the fact that it has both special needs kids and mainstream kids, I think has been really important for Evie.
Evie wants a drink.
Evie had speech therapy, physiotherapy, occupational therapy. Janice had already got that organised.
One of the roles that Kisharon provides to make sure that Evie is always making forward progress, to keep that momentum up.
They celebrate every tiny, tiny little step, and they only see Evie in terms of how she's progressing, not in terms of the things that she's not doing.
To have really a partner in Evie's development.
Morning when I'm still sleeping, I open up my eyes and say. As a mother and a father, knowing that your child is safe, well, happy, and in a place where nowhere else could do any more to help him meet his potential. The curriculum within the PMLD unit, which Elias is in, is designed absolutely for him, and he can actually learn an awful lot, but it needs to be given to him in the right way by the right teachers and by the right therapists. Even when Elias has epilepsy, which is the one thing that I do still find tricky because it's unpredictable. And even with that, the team who work with him are absolutely amazing. That makes me relaxed, and therefore it makes the family happy.
Kisharon is special for Elias, I think, because of the warmth and the love that you feel from everybody involved in Kisharon towards the people in the school.
Obviously, we believe that the feeling of community and the feeling of love is largely also to do with the fact that it's a Jewish school.
The idea that we can get with Kisharon both excellence in provision of services and all with a fantastic Jewish environment, I think together is wonderful.
Kisharon is there for people throughout life journey. From the youngest children in Tafgate Nursery to the day school
Kisharon Bike Shop.
and through to the many services that are there for the adults it supports throughout the whole of their lives.
My older brother Shimi is a Down syndrome, a lovely brother of mine. It's hard to speak about him. Yeah, but I speak about him in the present because he's my lovely brother. The last 11 years he's been cared for by Kisharon in the Hannah Schwalbe home. The younger years was a very active boy. He loved to run about, he loved to play with us. He was a marvelous orator. He could speak sometimes at family gatherings, at the simcha. He would get up and everyone waited for Shimi's going to say his Rosh, he would say his piece. He loved acting. For the family, it's very hard to see Shimi as he is. The dementia set in over the last few years hard, and through that we've seen him unfortunately going downhill, which was very sad for us. But that's to say now that the dedication of care that Kisharon is affording Shimi at this difficult time is really second to none. It's amazing to see the dignified way in which they treat him. Thank God for this organization, it's wonderful. Bye-bye, Shimpala. Bye-bye.
When somebody looks at Evie, I want them to know that she would not be the girl she is today without Tough Kid Nursery. And we would not be the family that we are without Kisharon. The future for Evie keeps me awake at night. I would like her to be living independently in a Kisharon sheltered accommodation. I would like her to have a job and to have her bar mitzvah and please God to get married. And all of those things rely on Kisharon, really.
I imagine Elias being involved in Kisharon through his life. But as well as that, I know that Kisharon looks at the individual and looks at their potential to be able to give back to society, and that's something that every parent wants for their child.
I'm going to travel to Gateshead by myself next week, and I'll be independent on a train.
And what do you now see when you look at me? My dancing room, my disability. Please don't see the things I can't do, won't achieve, and perhaps will never be. Because there's an organization in our community who don't see any of these things. Kisharon were there for me. Then I started working for them. And now I am a film star. 2